Here's another of my absolute favorite ways to make use of the foam roller at home and give yourself that amazing at-home massage feeling that's a treat any day of the week. So for this one, we're going to put our foam roller horizontally behind us. And this is again one where our foam roller is going to be static. It's not moving at all. We are going to tilt our head to create some difference in how we feel and where we're releasing our muscles. So you're gonna lay all the way down for this one. And you want this foam roller to fall just under the back of your skull, right before that curvature of your neck. So on the last kind of hard spot that you can feel, that's where our foam roller is gonna be. Okay, so your feet can be up or down. I prefer mine up. And hopefully you can see here we've got this foam roller right at the base of the neck. I know already this feels so good. So it should be right on that hard part of the neck. And you might already feel some tense spots. It's very normal. And in order to make sure that we're getting the whole of this area, you can turn your head slightly to the left or right, whichever way you want to start. And we're not just going back and forth, we're turning a bit to the left and we're pausing. And we're feeling that tension. Breathing into it. And just letting those tissues soften. So this area is called the Suboccipitals area with occiput. And this might sound somewhat familiar to you because it's similar to words like optical. Oof, yeah. And other words that have to do with our sight, our vision. Because the eyes, all of their kind of nerves and muscles and important bits come and actually connect here in this lower back part of the neck. So if you're someone who wears glasses like I do, sometimes you might have days where these stems that go behind your ears just feel so tight. You almost think, oh my gosh, is my head swollen? What is going on? Like this teeny tiny pressure from the stems of my glasses is giving me a headache. And feel free to come back to the center and take a moment when you're ready and turn towards the other side when you're ready as well. And really what's happening here is that these muscles from your eyes and into your neck, this occipital area, are so tight that it really is creating a pressure, and even just that tiny little push from the stem of your glasses feels so unbearable or gives you such a headache because these muscles are so intensely wound up in the first place. So this is an amazing way to maintain this area and prevent yourself from having those days. And if you're someone who looks out at the horizon left to right often, you're really working these muscles, whether that's reading, looking left to right in a book or on a computer screen. If you're driving a lot, any of these things are going to use these eye muscles. And at the same time, there are a lot of muscles in this area that just have simply to do with your neck and your ability to hold your head up and to move your neck in every which direction. So this is, again, just like your hips, just like your knees, a really important junction in the body for musculature. And man, I can find these spots sometimes that are just so intense, but I do want to caution, even though this might feel amazing, and you might think, oh, I'm just going to do this for an hour and it feels so good. Don't do that, because when you're releasing these muscles, you are naturally going to be changing the blood flow and oxygen flow in this area. And obviously we're close to the brain here. This is a highway that's leading, doing a lot of the blood flow up to the brain, circulating. So it's important not to go too hard in this area, because when you get up, it's one thing to have, what we call the massage drunk feeling, where you're kind of lightheaded, you're getting more blood flow than your body is used to, so you get this sensation of, ooh, I'm drunk, I'm massage drunk. And that's normal, that happens, but it can go too far. And part of the reason why it's good to have a licensed massage therapist working on your neck area rather than trying to handle it at home is because you can cross that line pretty easily. It can be difficult even for a professional, depending on how tight you are and how well the therapist knows your body or doesn't know you at all. You can cross over into this area all of a sudden where you find yourself having a headache that just won't quit. For sometimes you have to sleep it off. It gets so intense. So I do want to caution you this first time, or any time that you're working in this neck area, to be very careful with how long and how hard and how pinpointed you are paying attention to that area. I prefer you to use a smooth foam roller, at least at first, with this particular exercise. They do make foam rollers that have little nubbies and bumpies on them, and those can feel great on the neck. But again, it's a little bit of a higher risk in that regard, with getting more of a trigger point, more of a pinpointed, similarly to when I'm using my fingers underneath the base of your scalp and really getting that cradle feeling going that's everyone loves and just feels so nice. It's different because my fingers are not going to be as sturdy as something like a dense foam roller with or without the nubbies, and I'm going to be able to feel when your scalp, when those muscles on the base of your scalp, I should say, release, and then I know, okay, let's move, let's let that blood flow, let's have things continue so that we're not causing you that headache. And sometimes that happens, so if you do it to yourself, don't feel too bad. It's a mistake that anyone can make, but I am just telling you to try to warn you in advance. You can overdo this. You don't want to be too pinpointed, and you don't want to do it for too long, especially at first when you're doing it to yourself, and especially if you're having a day where you're really tense back there. Just take it easy, do just a couple minutes at a time, and leave it at that. Take some deep breaths and just enjoy that sensation that you get of feeling like, oh, I can move my neck again.